All you have to do is accept yourself as absolute awareness. You do this not by affirming that you're absolute awareness, but by letting go of the attachment to person, place or thing. The only way you will ever awaken is through the silence, not through analyzation of facts. Not by sorting out good and bad, but through simple silence. Letting go of all thoughts, all the hurts, all the dogmas and concepts. Letting go of these things daily. The worst thing you can do is to put yourself down. Think of yourself as a higher person, love yourself, worship yourself, bow to yourself. You are greater than you think. You don't have to set aside a time for meditation. You can do it while you're driving your car, while you're playing music. Just be aware of yourself, of who you really are, and realize the rest is all a projection of your mind. This moment is a small moment, very very small, atomic. Just a little unawareness and it is gone. One has to be very alert to catch hold of it, otherwise it will slip by. The whole of life only consists of such atomic moments. If this moment it is slipping by, then other moments will also slip by. You will be continuously desiring and dreaming and never arriving anywhere. This is the situation of the majority, this is the state of ignorance. Everybody wants to be blissful, but bliss is a consequence of being in the moment. The source, sustenance, and end of the universe participates in all phases of existence. It awakens with the one who wakes, dreams with the one who dreams, and rests in the deep sleep of the one who sleeps without dreams, yet, it transcends these three states to become its true self. Its real nature is pure consciousness. Realize that you are not the person you think yourself to be. Each day, seek to understand that you are not the body-mind, that you are none of what appears to be. Begin your path of discovery by investigating who you are, search within. All answers lie within you. Start in the morning. Just before you awaken, there is a space, a gap between sleeping and waking. That space is your reality. Try to catch yourself in that space, in the moment before your eyes open, before your mind takes control. There is absolute nothingness there. That nothingness is your complete reality. When the mind takes over, the I emerges and distorts everything, filling your day with I must and I have to. If you could see yourself as consciousness and perceive this space, you would experience an entire day in complete happiness. At night, as you're falling asleep, seek out that same space between waking and sleeping. That space is who you truly are. It is consciousness, nirvana. Explore, search, and find this state, a transcendental state. For the seeker, there exists a state beyond waking, dreaming, and sleeping. It is the fourth state. But because only this state is real, and the other three states are illusory, this fourth is known as the transcendental state. If you search for the space between waking and sleeping, you will find it. This space is also known as the fourth state of consciousness, beyond deep sleep, dreaming, and waking. This space is the fourth state, your reality. If one meditates intensely on the state that prevails at the end of wakefulness and just before sleep, they attain endless happiness.
Runs your life. The pain that you create now is always some form of non-acceptance, some form of unconscious resistance to what is. On the level of thought, the resistance is some form of judgment. On the emotional level, it is some form of negativity. The intensity of the pain depends on the degree of resistance to the present moment, and this in turn depends on how strongly you are identified with your mind. The mind always seeks to deny the now and to escape from it. In other words, the more you are identified with your mind, the more you suffer. Or you may put it like this: the more you are able to honor and accept the now, the more you are free of pain, of suffering, and free of the egoic mind. Why does the mind habitually deny or resist the now? Because it cannot function and remain in control without time, which is past and future, so it perceives the timeless now as threatening. Time and mind are in fact inseparable. Imagine the earth devoid of human life, inhabited only by plants and animals. Would it still have a past and future? Could we still speak of time in any meaningful way? The question, what time is it, or what's the date today, if anybody were there to ask it, would be quite meaningless. The oak tree or the eagle would be bemused by such a question. What time, they would ask? Well, of course, it's now. The time is now. What else is there? Yes, we need the mind as well as time to function in this world, but there comes a point when they take over our lives, and this is where dysfunction, pain and sorrow set in. The mind, to ensure that it remains in control, seeks continuously to cover up the present moment with past and future, and so, as the vitality and infinite creative potential of being, which is inseparable from the now, becomes covered up by time, your true nature becomes obscured by the mind. An increasingly heavy burden of time has been accumulating in the human mind. All individuals are suffering under this burden, but they also keep adding to it every moment whenever they ignore or deny that precious moment, or reduce it to a means of getting to some future moment, which only exists in the mind, never in actuality. The accumulation of time in the collective and individual human mind also holds a vast amount of residual pain from the past. If you no longer want to create pain for yourself and others, if you no longer want to add to the residue of past pain that still lives on in you, then don't create any more time.
Earth could come together as one and move into the new frequencies. But it sure feels like a divide is in process now. I do believe this separation is where the extreme and devastating grief is coming from that I have heard from so many people in the last few days. And because we don't understand this, we've projected it onto the election in the United States. I'm hearing about this deep grief is now worldwide. Grief is a necessary part of the letting go process.